This presentation, where I'll be going into system installation and hardening. So let's get going. So when we talk about system installation and hardening, we are mainly talking about configuring systems to be persistent and avoid unauthorized access to data, to files, so and eventually also commands in our system. So we want to separate the privileges, and we want to ensure that we also are installing and configuring systems that are not tampered with and are not um, uh, correctly or incorrectly set up. So we want them to be correctly set up. We want to the author's correct file and not having some kind of messed up version. So when we are this is the very beginning of initializing and just downloading, for example, a system to a VMware. So we want to run it in VMware, so we download an ISO image, and we need to verify that this is the correct version. As I've talked before, we don't want systems that are tampered with. We don't want systems that are manipulated or wrongly, so that could eventually affect our systems and our security. So we want to verify. We want also to disable servers that are not needed. So we want to just install the bare minimum if we go from the start perspective. And we also want to ensure the correct privileges according to the root administrator user. So this should be handled with care, and we want to set up with the root user, but we want to disable the root user and only use it on very few occasions. So we want to use other users, since the root admin will have full control of the system of all. So we want to ensure that our systems are handled correctly and secured, and we want also to secure against remote access through SSH, through root access. So all these things we can do and take measures to do. So first of all, as I've talked about, we want to verify that the installation image that we downloaded and installed are the correct, or just at least downloaded. We want to verify that we download the correct version. So after downloading it, we can run this SHA 256 sum command, and this will calculate a SHA 260 sum hash value of the particular ISO system. And why do we need this? Well, we need this because we can verify that this, based on our calculation, we get this number, and then we can go online and then we can look at CDI image.com, and then we can see if these match, and they actually do. So what I do is just look at this number here, and then look at this here. So we use hashes because they are very secure, and they can they can provide us a certain way of integrity to know that this is the correct system that we downloaded. So this was one way of verifying and disable. So this was primarily verifying. So let's look at how we can separate privileges in order to secure the systems and avoid potential damage to systems when we install the system. So we don't want to provide root access or any admin privileges to more than one people per system. So we want to eventually group. So we can just run a command here. So I can just say sudo. Let's just go here. I don't know if it's working. Oh, let's my ls. So let's just look at this. So I'll just say sudo user mod. So sudo ag, and then say admin 1 admin. So I'll just copy this and then see that we need to provide a password here. So actually, and I don't know this password, so I actually have to use another one. So let's just add user, user 1. So there we can see we don't only root can add a user, so we can write sudo here, and then we can provide this, and then we will get this test, and hopefully this one will work. So I think I've hardened my systems too much. So I just need to see here. So this is not the correct password. So, and I don't know actually why, but this was the way we were supposed to use it. So let's just go further here in the presentation. So what we will see is that we can also, to privilege separate, we can use the sudo file. The sudo's file will allow us to, let's just see here if I can access that. So let's just see here. Let's just see if this is. So we see vsudo, I think it's this one, permission denied. Again. So this is a occasion where I've hardened the systems too much. I don't know actually why it's so why I did that, but actually the sudo's file, we can view that with this command. So let's just go on and then see that we can verify. So let's try to do that command instead. Let's just see sudo. I can do that. I don't know if this will work. Okay, so we can verify what they are able to run, so what they are allowed to do with this admin here, so they are allowed to operate on the operational OpenNet. And here again, we can also perform commands here from the bin and sbin, so they are only allowed to be performed by printing, power up and net up command aliases, and then we can assign these to the different kind of groups here. So we have a group here, admin1, we have net up, we have print up, power up, so they are only assigned to these commands here. They can perform sudo writes for these. And this was just a clock to remind me that I have to do practical examples, but they were not that correct. So secure remote access, well, we can list our services here, see the status, we see SSH, and then what I did here is actually, I think that's my issue here, that I did some I used SSH and SSH, so I prevented SSH, so that's how I'm accessing my Ubuntu system. So I prevented that some of these permit root login, so I cannot root login from my SSH. So I need to actually disable that in some way. So perhaps I could go to the nano etc and then SSH and sshg config to, and then I need to, it's unwritable. So here perhaps I could do some other prevention here. So KBD interactive authentication. So perhaps I think it's also this one. I think I have committed, but let's just keep it with that. So then I can do the sudo ssh restart to implement the remote to implement what I just modified, and then we can verify here that that I'm denied the root app access. So thank you very much for listening in on this one, and I'm sorry for the comments, but I hope you get a grasp of it. So thank you very much.